it will be a little detailed today if you're brand new. So don't get lost in it. It's not the most important part. The quickest money you're going to make is your retail money selling product, and then your initial signing up of other brand partners who sell products retail. And we're going to go through all of that. But when I get into the deeper stuff today, if you get any confused at all, just don't worry about it. It'll come. We're going to try to do this publicly, and they're all going to be recorded. So, are you recording already, Anthony?
I am.
Okay. So what I do want to say before we get started, since it is recorded, is that we make no income claims. This is a real business. You're not an employee here. Nobody's on a salary. I'm not, you're not, none of us are. And, so you're going to get out of what you put into it. But the great thing about it is it's a business with no cap, meaning that if you do get good at it and you do work hard at it and you're good at training others to get good at it, because you can't really get to the big money. And this is true in anything in life, not just network marketing or our company. You got to have some leverage. You got to have, a lot of customers buying things for money to exchange hands. And our company sets up a model where you can build a team of people selling these products and get small override commissions, not as much as you make selling them yourself. But I think it was John Rockefeller that one time said that I'd rather have 1% of 100 people's effort than 100% effort of my own. And there's just nothing more true in life. You've either got to leverage money or you got to leverage like other businesses. Example, McDonald's Corporation allow other people to own McDonald's, but they get a small override commissions on all the McDonald's out there selling hamburgers. So this is your chance to be the McDonald's Corporation and actually create leverage, not just on your own sales, but on leverage now of other people selling around the country. Give me 1 second. Let me get the right PowerPoint pulled up. It's called PartnerCo Pay.
Why are you getting that up, Todd? You said we get paid 9 different ways. Folks, don't get lost in that. If you're brand new, a lot of times, Todd, people won't understand this until they start making that part of the pay plan. So just concentrate on those first couple of ways as Todd goes through this. And in the deeper details, you may not understand for a couple of months, at least a couple of months, because it's a patented pay plan. So it's unique to anything you've ever seen.
So the first thing I like to help everybody understand is where the money comes from. And the answer is really simple. It's just like any other business in the world. We move high quality nutritional and skincare products to the end consumer. And then you're the middleman, just like a GNC or the nutrition store in your town or whatever it may be that's selling those products. They buy at wholesale, they sell at retail, and they keep the difference. It's going to be the same for you, whether it's your personal sales or whether it's overriding other business centers making those sales. And do your own research. This is not PartnerCo statistics. These are straight off of the internet. If you go and look at the global, so our company operates in 58 countries with official license throughout Europe, Australia, China, Japan, South America, all of North America. If you go out there and look at that and you combine it all together, the personal care, skin care, and nutrition and weight loss and sleep and you name it, it's about a $4 trillion global empire. And we're just sticking ourselves right in the middle of it because your business here is global. The second you join, you can find another business partner in England or Australia or France, whatever you would like to do. But it's really, really simple. You've got to pay your $30 to become a business here. I think I saw Cynthia there in Oxford, Mississippi. Cynthia, I know you own a physical nutrition store there on the square in Oxford, Mississippi. You don't have to give us exact numbers, but would you mind sharing a little bit of the capital that took to get started and maybe the capital it takes to run it monthly before you get to keep any yourself?
Oh, wow. Okay, great question. Capital, how many thousands of dollars? And even now, we're stuck in the snow. I was just thinking about that. I've been off a week, but the bills keep going. And it takes, just product alone, you're looking at like just $10,000 to $15,000 a month just to have product. So the expenses, it's there and they keep coming. So
Cynthia, a lot of people found that out, small business owners did during COVID, that when everything got shut down, you weren't able to sell anything, but you still had light bills and electric bills and rent and overhead and bank notes and all those kinds of things.
Right.
So my most important thing I want to get across here is $30 is your downside risk, meaning that if it fails, you've lost $30. Minus if you do want to buy a little inventory to sell and you don't sell it, you can either use it or you consider that a loss. So, potential $300, $400, $500 loss if you bought inventory and didn't sell it is the downside risk. And anytime in business, you want to calculate what's my upside risk or what's my upside potential compared to my downside risk. So downside risk, let's just say maximum $500,000 if you bought a lot of product, which you don't necessarily have to, that'd be your choice. And the upside potential is we can't even tell you because, you're in the middle of a $4 trillion empire. How many business centers are you going to develop over time that are out there selling the product they're getting a small override commission on? So what we're going to talk to you now is about your personal sales and what that override commission is. And it's very, very simple. When you join the company, you pay $30. To actually get paid by the company, you've got to have sold or purchased 200 points of product. That's going to qualify your business. That's in the $350 range of product. You now have what we call an activated business. But I will tell you that you want to start selling, because if you can sell or move 1,500 points of products, you will move up to what we call ultimate. The computer system will do that automatically for the first 4 weeks, but you have 8 weeks to get that done. And the second 4 weeks, you just have to call it in and let them know you want it to count toward your ultimate status. But once you achieve that title, you're locked for life. And when you lock in ultimate, you're going to be paid 30% of anybody that you personally bring into the business to start selling of their first 4 weeks of purchases and sales. So if they were to sell 1,000, what we call points of product, you would make $300. If they sold 1,500 points of product, you make $450. So that's the math. So the difference between activated and ultimate is a 15% difference on what you're paid on the same exact action. So everybody does want to get ultimate. It also qualifies you for one of the pieces of the pay plan you're about to see. Okay, last thing for qualifying to make money. To make your retail sales, you just got to make the sale and collect the money. You can do that on a Cash App, a Venmo, whatever you like to collect money. Cash, whatever's your thing, just like any other business in the world. But the company's going to be paying you also, not only on what other team members sell, but they're going to be paying you even on some of your own sales based upon the wholesale volume. And to be qualified for a paycheck from the company, our company pays every Friday. It's really simple. It runs weekly from Friday night at midnight to Friday night at midnight. So it clocks out Friday night at midnight. Then the following Friday, you'll get your paycheck. To be qualified for that paycheck and to be able to qualify for your full 30% discount buying and be able to buy these things in bulk and really get a discount, you have to have one reoccurring customer. It can be you, meaning you could order products to sell, and it literally order 100 points once a month. That qualifies you. You could sell it. You could have a customer out there. We have the ability for people to just buy online and get shipped by the company, billed by the company, and you collect. If you have one reoccurring customer that way, it qualifies you. However you want to get qualified is up to you. Then there's going to be 9 ways, as Ken Bailey just mentioned. Don't get lost. I'm not going to go through all 9 ways. I'm going to go through what I call the 4 big ways today. Actually 5, because that bonus pool is a part of one of the ways we get paid. So we've talked about the retail profits. That's when you buy product wholesale, sell it retail, keep the difference. The new volume bonus was that ultimate title I just told you about. You personally bring in a customer, or you personally stop a brand partner that begins to sell, you get 30% of whatever that is the first 4 weeks. It'll then revert back to 15% in what we call base pay you're about to understand now, which leads us to the 3rd way we're paid. Really simple. When you start bringing in other team members, you're going to start building 3 legs of business. And you don't have to understand, if you're brand new, you don't have to understand exactly what that means, but the computer system will do it for you. The person that's going to sign you up, either them or somebody that's really knowledgeable that works with them, will help you understand how you're going to do this. The computer system does it for us. You just got to know where to go put them in when you go into your back office or your dashboard to sign them up. But you're going to build 3 legs of business. You can eventually build as many legs of business as you want to. And the way you're paid here is really, really simple. Don't make it more complicated than it is. When you start building these 3 legs of business, and a leg, for those that have never been in our industry, you've personally signed up 3 people. And in the computer system, that would be on 3 different legs, and you'll understand that when you see it in the computer. When they start bringing other people into business to sell, or maybe you sign up somebody under them, to unlimited depth, anywhere in the world, meaning you could sign up somebody that lives in your neighborhood. They could sign up a friend in Atlanta, who signed up a friend in California, who signed up their friend that lives in China. It's going straight down in organization. And you're going to be paid 15% of everything they buy or sell to unlimited depth globally. No exception. As you can see there, you're actually going to be paid 15% unlimited of every leg but the biggest on Friday. You're paid on that leg. It's in a different area of pay, but it's 15% unlimited except on the biggest leg. So this example on the screen shows you what we call a power leg. That's our terminology. It's just your biggest leg if you're not familiar with the terminology. That leg sold 4,800 points of product. Leg 2 sold 4,000 points of product. Leg 3 sold 2,000 points of product. In that scenario, you will be paid on leg 2 and 3. So it would be 4,000 times 15%, which is $600, and 2,000 times 15%, which is $300. So $900 for the week. It clocks out on Friday night at midnight. You get paid the following Friday. The new week begins at 12:01 a.m. Saturday morning. Now, here is the magic. If you would like to create a lot of income, you can eventually build as many legs as you want. And you have one goal. If you want to make the bigger money available, be able to do this maybe full-time one day, you want to start getting into bonus money. So the company sets aside 3% of worldwide revenue. I am not going to go into the details of how that's set aside, but I will tell you that you're able to earn shares in that bonus pool. And the amount of shares you can earn become exponential based upon how many times you're able to do what I'm about to explain. So to get shares in the bonus pool, you've got to get at least 2 legs of business, two of the 3 you start, selling at least 13,000 in volume points a week. Now, remember, you're going to be making 15% unlimited all the way to 2,000 a week. So if you don't make 2,000, you still get 15% of whatever was sold in that lesser leg, as you're looking there at leg 1 and 2. But when you get 2 legs that both sell 13,334 points of product in a week, and the reason it's a weird number, because if you multiply that times 15%, it's going to equal 2,000 in pay. So any week that you get 2,000 in base pay from 2 legs like that, you trigger your initial shares in the bonus pool. And those first 2 shares you're going to get are going to be worth, it says 400, but our company's growing. We're well north of 300 million global in revenue now. And as the company grows, that 3% becomes bigger. So that actually now is in the $450 range. Ken, I know you get that bonus every week. What was it? The last couple of weeks been right around 450?
Yes, close to 450, 440 something.
So right in the 440, 450 range and growing. Who knows what it could come into time. So instead of getting 2,000 for that weekend sales, you would get a $440 bonus. So it'd actually be almost 2,500 that you would get that week in this area of pay. But then as you continue building more legs into time, the amount of shares you get at a certain point start becoming exponential. So if you can get 3 legs going, you're actually going to get 13,334 points of sales in 3 legs. So on 2 of the 3 legs, you'll get 15% unlimited. So that'd be 2,000 per leg in base pay, or $4,000. And then you're going to get 440 plus 450 in bonus money. But then the 4th leg forward is where it really gets good. And obviously at this point, you're having to work at this really hard. This doesn't happen, generally speaking, to a part-time person, but this time you're now really out helping people become successful. But you get 4 legs to do it. You're on 3 of the legs. You're paid 2,000 each. But your bonus money on that leg now jumps to 2,400. And this is your bonus pool for the next legs all the way to 8. It keeps going, but this is generally satisfies most people. So this does not count the power legs. You got power leg, and then these begin your pay legs. So if you had 8 pay legs, you're getting 2,000 per pay leg. So if you have 8 legs, the bonus that week is 28,000 in bonus money, not to include the 2,000 per leg. So how do you, one day, if you have aspirations to make $1 million plus in a year, that's how you do it. Now, can you do it? I don't know. Can I do it? I'm not doing it. I don't know if I can or not. I sure do have aspirations to do it. So I'm working at it diligently daily to get 8 legs, selling at least 13,000 in volume and making 2,000 per leg. I would love to see that bonus check show up in my checking account one day, or your checking account, be equally as good. All right. That's the 3rd way we're paid. The 4th way we're paid is based upon your base pay we just talked about. When you start getting your base paycheck in your paycheck every week, your first goal is to get it to $250 a week. Because if you get $200 and $250 in base pay in a week, the company will give you an extra 15% in a savings account. And I think all of you guys that are watching this are in the business. So you already know when you log in to your app or your online that you see your savings account wheel, and it's going to start growing. It's the second you make $250 that first week, you'll get your first deposit in there. They are going to match an extra 15% up to $500 per week, meaning they're going to pay up to an extra $500 in that savings account. That savings account will grow. You do not have access to your savings account until it hits 10,000. When that savings account has $10,000 in it, when it reaches that level, you're then going to get a phone call from the company, and they're going to congratulate you. You'll get lots and lots of recognition. It's crazy. If you've never been in our industry before, we do big events all over the place. Our next one's going to be in Destin, Florida in about a month. And after that, Orlando this next fall. And you'll get brought up on stage. You'll get paper checks. Obviously, you're going to get the money in your account, but it's really, really fun. But once you get that $10,000 the first time, they don't hold it anymore. Every single month, they will give you up to an extra $2,000 back in that fourth. So we get paid every Friday. So on every fourth paycheck, they will give you your savings account once you get it the first time, up to $2,000 extra. So if you start maximizing it out every fourth Friday, besides what you make in the pay plan, you'll get an extra $2,000, hopefully to save in a normal savings account or put in the market or whatever you like to do to create income for your family. And these are just normal people out here. Are any of you that are on the screen, or any of you guys here that would like to speak up?
Tammy's here, Todd.
Can you unmute Tammy? Anthony, last Zoom, several people were telling me when I was calling their name, they weren't able to unmute. So I don't know if we have the settings set that way or not.
Yeah.
But Ken, I know you got your savings account. How did it feel when you got yours?
Yeah, Todd, a lot of companies in our industry have a card program, which is real gimmicky. So our company come up with this savings bonus, which is way better, Todd. So remember you're making 15%. So if you make $1,000 in base commission in a week, they put another 150 into this account for you. And then you get that $10,000 bonus to do whatever you want with it. Go pay a down payment on a car. And then you get that 15% every week. So my favorite part, Todd, you'd think it'd be that $10,000 bonus, but it really isn't. My favorite part is that fifth check every month that you were talking about. Get an extra $2,000 a month after you made your 10,000 bonus. I love it.
And then the last way we're going to talk about today, and this is in addition to everything that you've already seen. We call it the power of matching bonus. I actually call it matching check because it describes what you're actually getting. And it works based upon the base pay only, which is what we've been talking about, that unlimited 15%. So anybody that you personally sponsor, meaning you bring them into the business yourself. And when you go to sign somebody up, it asks you, are you the personal sponsor? So if you are, they're going to be on what's called your first generation and for life. When that person gets their base pay, the company's going to give you a 15% match. And here's the really neat thing about it. There is no minimum, there is no maximum, and there's what we call no breakaway, meaning it's forever. Even if they pass you up financially, you're still going to get your match. So, and they can absolutely pass you up financially if they work harder and do better at it. So if you sign up somebody and they make $10 next Friday, you'll get a $1.50 match in base pay. If they make $100 in base pay, you'll get a $15 match. But again, there's no limit. So if you sign up somebody that becomes great at this 5, 6, 7 years down the road and make $1 million in a year, they'll get their million, you'll get 150,000. It's a 15% match for life. And when they sign up people, meaning the person that you sponsored then brings in somebody they know that wants to sell, you'll get a 10% match there and a 5% on your third generation. Now you have to qualify for this area of pay. For the first 3 generations, you have to become what we call gold status. You have 2 ways to become gold status. One, if you go ultimate, what we described in the beginning, you sell or buy 1,500 points of product in that first 8 weeks, you'll be gold status for life. You don't have to requalify. Or you can personally sponsor 4 people to sell in your first 8 weeks, meaning they pay $30, they qualify their business and get a active reoccurring customer. You're also qualified for the first 3 generations. So there's no second leg required for the first 3 generations of matching check. Now, from that point forward, you will have to have a second leg because it qualifies based upon your base pay. So open up generation 4 is $500 a week in base pay, $1,000 for 5, and then so forth. But here's the illustration you're looking at. It just shows that if you sponsored 4 people into your business, very minimal, those 4 people started making $100 extra a week in their life from this company in base pay. If they did, That'd be $400 in income paid out to people that you brought into the business. Times 15% is $60 match for you. So you're just getting $60 extra a week based upon other business centers selling these products. If they were to go out and find 4 other people to do the business, that would be 16 business centers selling the product. And if they were to make $100 each, that'd be $1,600 in income. You get 10%, that's $160. It's the same math all the way down. Now, it does not and probably will not happen exactly like that. It just kind of gives you an illustration of the power of leverage, compounding numbers into time. I mean, you might sign up 100 people. You might sign up 1. It doesn't matter. These percentages always work no matter what you're doing. Now, Ken, this is my favorite part. In addition to the money you're going to be getting, I always say one of the greatest things about our business is the network of people you meet. You know, we're a business that requires work, a positive attitude, a desire for better. So we build a network of people that have those traits. You know, they're people that generally don't complain all the time. They're like positive people. They just want an opportunity to get their family ahead. And so you're not only going to have the income coming in, but you're going to build this network of positive people in your life, probably meet some of the best friends of your life. And one of the ways that you really become great friends is we're all able to win 2 free vacations a year with the company. We have a North American vacation. It's generally like to the Caribbean, a cruise. Last year we went to Mexico. The one that's running right now that you can win is to the Grand Hyatt in the Bahamas. I think it's 4 nights, 5 days. It'll be coming up in May. I'm not going to go into the details of how to win it. I'm going to let the person that brought you in. It's a kind of a secondary way we get paid that you'll use that extra money to redeem either for free product or your free vacation. And the other trip you're going to be able to win is to Tahiti. That is our global vacation. It's a little harder to win. We're about to go on it in April, and they have not announced it this year. We go on it every year. So probably sometime in February, we'll get the announcement. I'll just tell you what it was to win it last year. You had to make $25,000 more this year than you did the previous year. So if you're brand new and you made nothing last year, you need to make $25,000. And if you do, you're going to win a trip to Tahiti for 1. You got to make $45,000 in the pay plan more than you did the previous year to win 2 tickets. And so if you're a female and you only won 1 ticket, they'll room you up with another female that only won 1 ticket. If you're a male, same thing. But we want, you know, couples to come. So our goal for everybody is to, if you're brand new, especially this early on in the year, we want to help you go build a business and create a $45,000 extra income in your life. And not only that would for sure win your trip to the North American to the Bahamas, but then you'd also get a second trip now to Tahiti. And this year's Tahiti trip is actually 10 days. It's a 7-night, 8-day cruise to all the islands from Bora Bora to you name it over there. It's just a really, really neat experience. What I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to unshare my screen. And Ken's been working in the business full time. He used to be in the banking industry. But anything you want to close out with, Ken? And I will open it up for questions here. Let's go ahead and stop the recording, though, Anthony. But I'll hang out here and answer any questions that a person wants to ask.
Yeah, Todd, since this is a training for people, a couple highlights real quick. First of all, this income's residual in nature, Todd, meaning once you build it, you continue to get paid even when you're not maybe actively working. So people ask me all the time, how much money did you make your first month, Ken? And I say, you know, I don't know. I'm still getting paid for it. So I've got customers I've had for a decade, Todd. We're still getting paid for it month after month. And then also our company's been voted the top compensation plan around the world out of over 7,000 companies. And the main reason, Todd, it is a patented pay plan, but we guarantee to pay out at least 50% of every dollar sold. How does that compare to the industry? The industry averages 35% out of every dollar sold. So in other words, we pay out 30% more than the best companies besides us. So, and one of the main things is that matching bonus you showed, Todd. Any company that has matching bonus, and I've looked at every one of them, they usually have some kind of tripwire. Usually people break away from it, meaning if somebody underneath you gets to a certain level, you don't get paid for their volume anymore. We don't have any breakaways. So if Todd personally sponsors me, he's going to get paid. It doesn't matter if I pass him, he's still going to get paid that matching bonus. That's very different from a typical company, Todd. So no breakaways, no limits. You can personally sponsor 100 people and you're going to get that matching bonus, no breakaways. So we're different from any other company. And it's also balanced, Todd. Not only do we pay out more than any other company, it's fairly balanced. What I mean by that, a new person can make some immediate income that Todd talked about. You can have that middle income and then that legacy type thing. Todd told you those income pools. So we got upfront money, we got middle money, we got legacy money. So just it's the best pay plan in the industry, period.
Yeah, and again, we're not making any income claims. It is a business. You're not, going to be an employee here. It's going to be based upon your efforts. That's my favorite thing about it. I was a high school football coach, and I used to tell my kids all the time that everybody's going to practice. Everybody's going to practice on every team, and everybody's going to have 11 players on offense, 11 players on defense, and everybody's going to have good players and some that aren't so good. At the high school level, you don't get to recruit; you get what you get. I said, so how we win is we out practice them, we outperform them, we outwork them, we out scheme them. Like, you got to do things better than the next person if you want to win. And very few businesses and jobs are set up that way. Those of you that work, especially for like the government or different things. I mean, I was a teacher, I was in a government system. All teachers are paid the same. And I promise you, all teachers aren't the same. They are not even close to the same. Some are much better than others, but the pay is identical. It's just based upon another year of service. So for the first time in my life, when I left high school coaching after 15 years to do something on my own, I could, if I wanted to outwork and outperform, I could out earn, and you have the same potential. So again, no income claims. Let's go ahead and make sure the recording stopped, Anthony.